This is going to be a little different. I signed up for this category because I'm in the process of designing an advanced sales class for LaSalle University, and I was hoping to learn a bunch of things from my teammates, and they've left me here, okay, to present by myself. So yesterday I went to Left and I said, hey, we really don't have any exercises. We really don't have any instruction, okay, from the two people that are left. He said, it's your time. He said, do whatever you want. So I said, okay. So I'd like the exercise to be for you to tell me whether what we're thinking about for our advanced sales class is a good idea, too much, too little, too remedial, too complex. And I just want to position LaSalle right now and tell you where we are. So we've just built a brand new business school. And we have a dedicated sales lab, recording studio, and 3 breakout rooms in the new school. Wow. Fantastic. A lot of the work was done before I started. I was an adjunct for 10 years, and I've been full-time for 2. Okay? Experience at GE, Xerox, Ricoh. I've been a consultant, been a bunch of different things. So I came on board full-time. My predecessor is not around to see the new business school and all his hard work leading to the new business school. Now, he's still with us. He's alive. He's living in Amelia Island drinking wine, so don't feel too bad. But he's laid the groundwork for this. So I came in, the school was built, and I walked right into a lot of jealousy from the finance department, from the accounting department, and I'm standing there now. So here's my contact information. LaSalle University. If you saw my name tag, it said University of Florida. I've never been to Gainesville, but okay. So you shouldn't hate me, okay? All right?
An honorary degree.
Yeah, so not yet. So we have a personal selling class. It's 301. Every marketing and communication major has to go through 301.
Oh, wow.
All right? It's mandatory. All right? Do the normal things: sales process, questioning methodology, objection handling, closing, a number of exercises, role plays. We talk about ethics, basic intro to sales, textbook information. The big assignment is the role play, and it's like watching people walk to the gallows, you know? Everybody's nervous. You know, I had a pitcher from the baseball team, the star pitcher from our baseball team, faint in the hallway. Okay, and you're talking to him saying, you do this every day. You stand on a mound. There are fans. People actually come to watch LaSalle baseball. But he went down. Anyway. So, I love teaching the class. It's a great class, okay? I write most of the exercises. The role play is structured in such a way where the buyer and the seller are teamed. The seller gets to write a small introduction paragraph of who the buyer is. They get to pick a product that they want to sell. It cannot be a consumer product. If it is a consumer product, it's got to go through the channel, okay? So they are selling in a B2B environment, all right? And we do that because a lot of our recruiters come in, are hiring them for a B2B channel, okay? That's this class. We've offered the sales management class to the undergrads for 2 semesters now. So in the sales management class, we do 9 cases. Some of them are written by people that I've met here 2 years ago. Some of them are pulled from articles. Some of them are Harvard cases, okay? There are a couple presentations where they have to present out. There was a teaming issue from Harvard Business Review, and there were about 5 articles in there: how to manage conflict, how to lead a team that's remote, all of these things. We do present outs where we put people in teams, that kind of stuff. One class we have where they have to fire me, okay? So we put fire me, let me go, shoot me, okay? So we give them scenarios. It could be a downsizing event. It could be, you know, a violation of policy. It could be performance. You know, when I stand there, and as they walk me through, you know, what the team has decided to say, I throw things in front of them that I'm taking every customer. You know, he was my fraternity brother. You think he's going to stay with you? You know, and it's funny because everybody goes like this. Nobody wants to make eye contact. So we have a number of different things here. For the Harvard Business teaming exercise where they have to present out, they think they're presenting out on the material, but the one rule I have is they've got to pick a leader And number two is they can't meet to assemble the presentation. They have to do it all online or through an online tool like WebEx or Join Me or all of that. Because right now, from the industries I've come from, when you're managing people that could be sitting in London, could be sitting in Mississippi, could be sitting. So how do they coordinate? What kind of conflicts do they have? So they're presenting the material out. And then when I start to ask them questions and grill them, it's all about the process, if that makes sense. Okay? So we're very lucky at LaSalle that we have a couple place markers in our catalog, such as marketing seminar, marketing topics, that we get to stick in titles instead of going through the curriculum review process, which I understand is very challenging. Okay? So we don't have that. So we're thinking about starting this course live in 2018, spring of 2018. And I've been tasked with creating this. So here are some of the ideas I've got so far. We don't do a live Salesforce automation or CRM learning. We do screen captures in 301. We show them the metrics that come out of that, but we don't have any exercises or live. So I've researched a couple. We are an SAP University Alliance member. They have a CRM tool, but nobody really uses that tool. Salesforce is everything, right? So I've reached out to Salesforce. They have an education foundation. So for $25 a student, right, they give you a lot of curriculum. It equates to about 8 classes worth of material. We have a couple corporate sponsors. We're trying to get certified from the university. So I told you, it looks like we have a lot of heavy lifting. We've got a corporate sponsor from Johnson & Johnson. We've got a corporate sponsor from AmerisourceBergen. Northeast U.S. is laden heavy with pharmaceutical companies, right? So we have some good things happening. I was thinking about adding a complex sale
methodology.
Well,
That's what it's called, complex sales methodology.
okay. So let me just walk you through this. Is it one project? Does the corporate sponsor come in and judge?
It could be any.
Is it selling internally as well as selling externally? Is it writing the case, letting the corporate sponsor write the case?
The first sales methodology I learned was solution selling. And to me, it was the eye-opener I needed to sell more. Then the same company brought power-based selling. And then the guy that was there as
I'm just going to take notes.
yeah, sure. They still exist, by the way. And the companies are there, and they can sell you everything you want. The guy that was with us when we were merged, the two software companies were merged together, he left the company to represent and create his own sales methodology, because he thought, okay, solution selling goes all the way to here, but it doesn't close the deal until whatever happens with power selling.
Okay.
So he created a sales methodology called the complex sales.
Okay.
And his name is Rick Page.
Okay.
He lives in Alpharetta, Georgia, where my mama see you.
Rick Page?
Place to live.
Okay.
So he's a great buddy of mine.
Okay.
He became super rich, and I think he either sold the company, and he published like 4 different books. So the complex sales, really and truly, it's an easier, it sounds complex, but it's not.
Okay.
And it's always for B2B. This is what I like about your approach. Everything is B2B here. And the more complex the product, the better the methodology. But somehow you need to learn the methodology, which is based on these two. And so in a way, your advanced sales class should, at the beginning, teach the methodology.
Okay.
And you can learn in any class. You're a professor, learn all these things very quickly. And then you can start using the case and everything. But somehow they need to learn, finally, a methodology. I don't care if it's complex sales, solution selling, the other one that is great, probably the best one to me, it's now bought out by Altify. It was called target account selling. And target account selling was,
Go ahead. I'm sorry. Whoop.
methodologies.
Okay.
Target account selling was bought out by Siebel. Siebel was bought out by Oracle. Oracle sold that thing to this guy, Donald Daly.
Don Daly.
Donald Daly without the D, Donald, which is weird.
Okay.
Donald Daly. And he created a company called Altify.
Okay.
That company now sells the methodology of target account selling, which is easier, faster, and cheaper to learn. And it's connected to Salesforce.com,
Okay.
which we teach in a separate class, CRM. I teach that class.
Okay.
I teach this class too.
Well, if you don't mind, pick your brain a little bit more. Okay.
Absolutely.
Okay.
Mike, what are you trying, I mean, I want to go back to your question. What are you trying to accomplish with this idea? What are you trying to do?
My goal is, although the output will be having students that are very prepared, I don't realistically think they're going to get jobs like this when they graduate, right? In a complex sale. Most organizations I've worked for and most organizations I'm familiar with, they're not walking in at a level where they're leading a complex sale. But in my opinion, this gives my students another bullet in the gun where they're sitting in an interviewer and they're able to describe a complex process, understand how they've sold internally why we need to do business with this customer for all the stakeholders in their own organization, as well as making a call on a CFO, a CIO, a chief marketing officer. So they can talk to it, whereas, well, you may have that job in, 5 years. You're not going to have it now. Here's where we start you, but man, that's impressive. Does that make sense?
Do you think that any of your partners that you would work with would be able to bring a team to conduct a role play? So you might have somebody from multiple business, not you, multiple functions, where they would have to sell to someone from, the CFO, the CIO,
Right.
From technology, somebody from purchasing, somebody from.
Yeah, they could. And I've run into them 50-50 with our corporate sponsors. And when I mean that, they're very well intentioned, no complaints. But, I got the big project scheduled for Tuesday at 2 o'clock, and all of a sudden, hey, I can't make it Tuesday. Can you do Friday at 3? Or, hey, can you do Wednesday? Well, we're class meets Tuesday, Thursdays, So sometimes it's professors playing the role, that come in. So are they willing? Yes. Everybody says yes. The problem that I have now is I have 50% follow-up.
But even still, you would probably still want to have the case and the situation lined out.
Yes.
For everybody's
Yes.
on the same page.
Right. So, whether I would use a Harvard case, okay, or whether I would write it on my own. One of our corporate sponsors is AmerisourceBergen. I don't know if anybody knows who they are, a medical logistics organization. They happen to be the biggest company in Pennsylvania, about $120 billion in revenue. They were our first corporate sponsor, and they actually came to us. They had hired 4 LaSalle graduates. Every one of them was less than 4 years of tenure, and every one of them was up for promotion. Right? So they came to us. The honors program actually contacted the sales center because most of them were in a sales role or going towards a sales role. And so they've been great to work with. So I deal mostly with their head of training, okay? She's phenomenal. I write a case of what I think their business problems are through discussions. I send it to her. She tweaks it and sends it back. So that way she doesn't have to write it. She just tweaks it. Okay? So I get a lot more response from her when I do.
Add what he said in your advanced class, which is the role plays. In advanced sales, it's essential what Mike.
Yes, right.
So write it down.
So I didn't write it down, and that's part of the exercises. There will be multiple role plays. You know what I mean? Yeah. So I mean, one role play with the chief marketing officer, one role play with the head of operations. You know what I mean? That's what I'm thinking. But it will be the same company, like we just saw in an earlier exercise here with all the different products, the ocean, the air. What's going to apply to who?
I like your idea of one role play with your own sales engineer or the product manager of a product that you need to get them to support you with material and maybe
Right.
come to a meeting where they may or may not want to do that.
Right. Now, I just left a company 2 years ago where I created vertical sales structure across the organization. So we had sales, dedicated to higher ed, sales dedicated to finance, sales dedicated to legal, healthcare, all of that. And our CEO was an accountant, and our CEO wanted everything that was pretty much in a price book or on the shelf. So everything had an SKU. Unfortunately, when you walked into customers, and you see all the statistics from Challenger, you walk into a customer and the customer says, I like 80% of that, but this 20%, I need that one-off thing. So no matter what you were doing, you were having to come back to sell internally to get support for that 20%. You had to understand how you position this with your head of manufacturing, your head of design, your chief financial officer. This is where we're going to make money. This is where we're going to grow. This is what the marketplace is calling for. So I think selling internally is a big component to advanced sales. You just can't take everything that marketing gives you and get, right? You've got to figure out a way to garner resources internally.
Do you guys do at LaSalle University internal sales competition?
That's a great point. So we're going to be going to our first one in the fall, and I think we're going to go to Bryant. Okay, so
No, internal. Meaning
no, I understand.
Your own university.
Yes, so we're going to. We have a timeline where we presented to all the sales students the last week of class of what was coming in the fall. We're going to do an internal one to the end, somewhere around the third week of October, and I think Bryant's the second week in November. So we're going to have the winners, within reason, and then we're going to go to Bryant.
Okay.
Yeah, so we will have an internal. No?
Let me
Yes.
suggest something. It's working out very well. We do the sales competitions and we open them to the entire university.
Wow, okay.
People that are never been to sales ever, probably. And so the only thing we get, number one, we get the sponsor. And last one was Quicken Loans.
Okay.
The one before that was Salesforce.com.
Okay.
The previous one was, and so on.
Yeah.
So I tried to do 1 or 2 per semester. And the one that we did last time, everybody wanted to be there. We had to limit to 20 because of the logistics, because we wanted to do the sales competition in only 3 hours. It starts at 5:30, ends at 9 p.m.
Okay.
With food and everything. And we go through 2 rounds. The first round eliminates everybody except 10 people, and then those 10 go to the second round, and they win. And the thing here is that students like the idea. It only takes that time and one practice. I do just one practice where I invite the Quicken Loans people or the Salesforce people, local salespeople, and they come and divide the whole group of people in multiple groups, and it was like a fast thing, to learn this thing if you want to come to the competition. And why do they want to go to the competition? It's really interesting. They don't know if they really like sales. But once they start interacting with these people from outside, they love the idea, number one. And number two, the awards are $500, $350,
Yeah.
$150. Gifts like beats, headphones. And those are paid by the sponsor. The sponsor doesn't pay anything, just the words and the food. That's it. And so everybody wants to come.
That's a great idea.
Pack wants to come. The other one wants to come. And we cannot do enough of these things. And to us, it's important because our minor in sales is brand new. So we need more to attract the freshmen and the sophomores to come to the principles of sales class. And we want people that don't know that they're really good in sales to come and show that they can probably do it. And so guess what? The last one, the Quicken Loans competition, was won by a person he's graduating in May, and he is a psychology major. He never was in sales. And so number 2, number 3, and number 4 were in the advanced sales classes. But guess what? The winner
Came from
never
outside.
in any sales classes, which hits me like a ton of rocks.
Yeah.
Because I'm thinking, okay, I teach this thing and nobody wins from my class. and so, but this guy got a job immediately.
Wow.
With the Quicken Loans people.
Wow.
He's moving to Ohio somewhere, Ohio. We only
So
have
the
about
other-
5 more minutes.
Okay.
Oh, sorry.
So one of the
Grabbing
other
the
things
phone.
that we do in our advanced class is put them in a real sales situation. So
Okay.
they have some sort of project.
Okay.
Oftentimes they're broken into groups, and they have to choose a not a nonprofit and go raise money for that nonprofit.
Okay.
They have to deliver $3,000 within 6 weeks. The highest team performance I'm aware of is we had a team that raised $25,000.
Wow. And I should mention Linda, who just left, who thought she was going to be up here with me, has an advanced sales class, and she's a certified spin instructor through Huthwaite. So her advanced sales class gets a certificate by passing her class. And she does something similar like that. They have to shadow, a sales rep.
Well, we do that in our basic class.
Okay.
Sales rep shadowing is part of that, but there's a lot of fear affiliated with actually having to go ask somebody for money, which is really what you're signed up for to do professionally. So
We
that's why we don't do that.
we extended that idea to do an auction for the entire sales program.
So I should tell you that in 301, we have an opportunity for everybody who is in our basic sales rep. We have an entrepreneur center, and it's run by a gentleman, and he's kind of got loose purse strings. They really don't flow anywhere. We had a graduate who credits LaSalle, came from a very, challenged area, went there. He's in his late 70s, became an orthopedic surgeon, and he's been incredibly good. Through the course of his life, he's owned about 80 companies, and they are across the map. I'm talking a cartoon company all the way through medical device. He has given the Entrepreneur Center 23 companies to work on. So we have students that can walk out of here, get paid $10 an hour, and work as a consultant on these 23 companies. Yeah, it is. And he's got a pretty deep, nobody really knows how deep the bucket is, but, if kids are working late, he orders pizzas in, you know what I mean? They go on, Innovation Works. So we have kind of a joint, for those that want to participate, it's not required. They can get paid and play the sales consultant for some of these companies, which gives them real life experience. Yep.
So the whole time I've been here, I've been putting a list of things that could be in an advanced class that I've been hearing from everybody.
Right.
I just want to throw some out there and see if people say, yeah, that makes sense, or it doesn't.
Oh.
So, account planning, I haven't heard that.
Right.
Time management,
Definitely.
territory management,
Definitely.
organization. Prospecting, spidering through companies, multi-threading. The technology stuff, whether it's HubSpot, LinkedIn, Salesforce, should be the exercises, like go do this on LinkedIn, and oh, by the way, it happens to teach you how to prospect, right? Versus teaching them the technology. I like the technology to be in what they're doing, but not the focus.
Okay. So the LinkedIn assignment I got here 2 years ago when Howard got up and talked about LinkedIn, and I immediately implemented was they have to friend me. They've got to really go out there and take a look at their LinkedIn. I mean, no half-prom pictures with a red bow tie. You're not going to get a job as a maitre d'. You're trying to get a job at Johnson & Johnson here. So they had to clean that up. They had to rewrite their job description. No student at LaSalle. They had to put something like innovative marketing, enthusiast, something like that really made them stand
I'm
out.
talking about, find a list of 50 companies that match this criteria.
Okay, so where I was going with that.
Then
Yeah.
it's find who the head of marketing is and who their direct reports.
Yeah,
are.
LinkedIn for prospecting, that's
Right.
what it is.
So they had to follow associations. They had to follow a brand they liked, whether it was Under Armour, Coca-Cola, whatever. Then they had to make contacts in that company. So it wasn't just friending me, right? They had to actually start to do something in that arena. But I like the idea. Find 50. Find, companies that may need this solution. I like that. Yes.
We're running out of time.
Okay.
I'm going to make a suggestion.
Yes.
Those of us who have advanced sales classes, sharing syllabuses, exercises,
I'll steal from anybody. Okay, so.
and also the USCA. If you are an associate member, you have access to their website.
And that's what we're in the
That's a
process of doing.
whole
Yep.
litany
Okay.
of exercises, standards.
Okay. Fantastic.
Help.
Okay.
Is it worth doing a Dropbox just for the advanced selling that everybody can access in terms of cross-sharing some syllabus?
Yeah, that'd be great.
We could do that.
Okay.
We set that up. There'll be create a subfolder, advanced sales, syllabus and exercise.
That would be wonderful.
You send me the material, it'll be in there.
Yeah, and we're looking for this to go live, like I said, spring of 2018.
Can I just ask, I'm conscious of time. Quick question. Who uses simulations in their classes, as in computer-based simulations with customers? Just out of interest.
In sales management, yes.
Yeah?
And the source of the simulation?
I don't know, but I can find out.
That'd be great.
I just have one last quick question.
Dropbox as well, is that all right?
We didn't spend a lot of time on the Salesforce automation or the CRM tool. Everybody feels strongly that's got to be it's got to be placed somewhere, I guess, in our see, we don't have that luxury just yet. Yeah, okay. All right, thank you.
Thank you.